Public hearings. First item is going to be at 1079 Montgomery Avenue. Request for a use permit to operate an automotive body shop within the M1 Industrial Zoning District per Chapter 12.96.150 C1A of the San Bruno zoning ordinance. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit application to operate an automotive body shop within the M1 Industrial Zoning District. The site is located on the west side of Montgomery Avenue between Scott Street and Interstate 380. The site is 5,000 square feet and is currently developed with a 2,975 square foot building. On site right now, there's a 20-foot front setback area and a 20-foot 6-inch rear setback area. The site is currently occupied by a forklift repair company. The proposal calls for a new automotive body shop, and the work entailed will be dent repair, the sanding and buffing and painting of damaged vehicles. The proposed hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. The applicant has indicated that 2 to 3 vehicles are serviced within a week. Additionally, wheel alignment and windshield replacement will not be done on site, but rather will be sublet to local specialty shops. The applicant also proposes to demo all the existing non-load bearing walls to create an open floor area. The only construction on site will be the incorporation of a new office, a new bathroom, and a new paint booth. As you know, automotive-related uses were once permitted by right within the M1 Industrial Zoning District, and it wasn't until 2009 when the City Council approved an ordinance requiring that all new automotive-related uses go through this conditional use permit process. And it really allows staff a lot of flexibility to look at projects on a case-by-case basis and really analyze the site to make sure that the site is appropriate for an automotive-related use. In this particular case, the applicant will be incorporating 10 new parking spaces on site, 4 of which would be located in the front setback area and 6 of which would be located in the rear setback area. There have been, staff has added a number of conditions of approval regarding parking on site. One of the conditions is requiring that all employees utilize a rear parking or all the parking spaces to the rear of the building. And there's a condition requiring that all repair vehicles either be stored inside of the warehouse or be parked in the rear parking spaces. That will allow the 4 spaces in the front of the building to be utilized by customers at all times. And I would like to point out that at no point will any repair vehicles be allowed to be parked in the street. Additionally, the applicant will be incorporating new landscaping within the front setback area. There's 2 3.5-foot landscaping strips on the north and south side of the property line. And the applicant will replant essentially rip out what's currently there and replant that entire area. Additionally, staff has added a number of conditions of approval related to the best management practices associated with the automotive body shop industry. These have to do with the washing of vehicles and spray gun maintenance. Overall, staff does find that the proposed use will be an upgrade to what's currently there. New landscaping and the new parking will greatly improve the existing conditions. With that, staff does recommend approval and recommend that the Planning Commission approve the project subject to conditions of approval 1 through 24 within the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do the commissioners have any questions of staff? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Matt. Is the applicant present?
Yes, we are.
Okay. It doesn't matter which one.
We all are. We'll be up.
Twins, could you please state your name and give us a description of what you're planning on doing there, please?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Javier Solorzano. I'm the architectural designer for the project, and I'm here representing the project sponsor. As Matt expressed, it's a small business, basically. It is auto-body repair, but it's basically a 2-person operation, the owner of the shop and 1 employee, and the possibility of maybe enlarging to 2 employees. Currently, the project sponsor has been operating a similar business about 4 blocks away. But seeing the opportunity that this property became available, he would like to not only be able to own the shop, but also the property, which I think would be in compliance with the master plan of allowing for local ownership of businesses, mostly small businesses. As Matt also mentioned, we will be treating the front facade with not only landscaping, but when we go through the process of the building permit submittal, we will also present a color scheme for the facade of the building, which will match match similar properties in the area and enhance the existing building. Also, I think it's well deserved to mention that with the improvements of the parking in the front, as well as the development of the bathroom, the structure will be more ADA compliant now. As you can see, a serial of conditions have been will be implemented with the approval if you should approve the project, so as to not to be a burden to any of the neighbors or an eyesore for the area. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to.
Great, thank you very much. Commissioners have any questions of the architect?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Mishra?
I just have one comment about the conditions of approval. There is a condition that a architect be hired to proceed with the building permit portion, and you're
Yes.
aware of that?
Yes, and I do have an associate that's licensed, a licensed architect that will be going along with the process for the building permit. Yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
Any other questions of the applicant, Rob?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson?
The fences on either side of the property, between the property and the adjacent properties, appear to be in poor condition. Do you own those, or do you know who owns it? Is it you or the other property?
Are you referring to the fences in the rear?
No, in the front.
In the front, I'm not quite sure who has ownership of that. Maybe the current owner could, do those belong to you guys? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Please go to the microphone.
There's just one fence on the right-hand side, and it's just really like a temporary fence. And I just put that up so the kids next door don't play next to it. So,
Well, my question is, could you put the fence into good repair? The thinking, part of the thinking here is that every once in a while, there's a use permit in there, and we're able to ask that people maintain the property, maintain the property better. And
we
so,
can put the fence in good repair if you like.
great,
It's not a
that would be
problem.
great. Thank you very much.
And through the chair,
Yeah, Aaron. I'm
there
sorry.
actually is a condition of approval that Matt just pointed out, condition number 18, that relates to that fence and requires the replacement of it with a new fence.
Well, it says replace the fence. If it's put in repair, would that be satisfactory to the city?
Yeah, I mean, if they could repair it and make it, I mean, the fence looks like it needs to be replaced, so we would recommend that. But if they repair it and make it look new, that's fine as well.
Okay. You okay with that?
I have a question for staff, and the owner, property applicant might want to comment on this. On condition 22, a licensed architect shall submit plan at the time of building permit submittal. Why is that condition requiring a licensed architect?
For a while now, there's been the California Building Code requires that a licensed architect work on commercial buildings for the structural review phase. What we found is that during the planning phase, some of the property owners or applicants weren't aware of this requirement. So we've made sure that our building official looks at these plans early and conditions it that way, so the applicant's aware that an architect will have to be hired later on.
Can't a licensed engineer do the same thing?
That's a good question. I'll need to check on that.
If I may, yeah, I do believe that actually the actual wording on the new code is that any licensed professional could be an architect or a civil engineer or a structural engineer. And it's at the discretion of the building official. Actually, some municipalities don't enforce that as long as it's just tenant improvements and it doesn't involve any structural work, but it's at the discretion of the building official, basically.
I'd like to ask staff to look into that and
Sure.
make sure that condition, if applied on this permit or other permits, states, if it is correct, as the gentleman says, a licensed professional, that the condition be revised to that.
Absolutely.
Any other questions from the commissioners? Okay. Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. Is there anybody from the public wishing to comment on this particular item? Seeing none, I will close public hearing on it and bring it back to the commissioners for discussion or action.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Marshall?
I have a question for the staff. In the applicant's work description, it says that he only works on 2 to 3 cars a week. And then on item 5 of the conditions approval, it says that he has to operate this according to his description. Is this saying that, I mean, are we approving this based on a business that's only going to be repaired 2 to 3 cars a week? Or are we approving this based on an auto repair business?
The way the conditional use permit is worded is based on the description that he has of working on a certain number of cars per week. If he wanted to increase that, what he would have to do is come back to the Community Development Department and get the Community Development Director's approval to alter this business plan significantly. So if he added a car to, that would be fine. If he completely changed his business plan, then it would require further Planning Commission review.
Okay.
Okay, still in the Commissioner's Court here. Any more discussion or action?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson?
I move the commission approve use permit 10-10 based on findings of fact 1 through 3 and conditions of approval 1 through 24.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Cut the gavel. And it is approved. There is a 10-day appeal period. Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
good luck.